Hey there, guys. Today we are back with some more overly sarcastic productions. This time we are on to The Journey to the West Part 8. And then I think one more part and we're all caught up to Red. Then we can go back to the regular miscellaneous. Or classic summarize, whichever I feel like. This time we're continuing their journey. Remember to check out the links below in my description box or in my pinned comment in the comment section. Got a link to my gaming channel here on YouTube and a link to my Twitch channel. Love it if you threw me a follow. Now let's go ahead and continue our journey to the west.
Last time on Journey to the West, Tripitaka was once again abducted by a devious river-dwelling
Yes, he was.
Who was revealed to be the truant nephew of Ao Shun, the Dragon King of the West.
Yes, he
was.
was.
With the help of the noble Prince Moang, the demon was defeated, and our heroes continued westward, only to find themselves fugitives in a Buddhist enslaving kingdom ruled by three powerful demons in the guise of Taoist immortals. With Monkey's help, Tripitaka passed their numerous tests and won over the fickle-minded king, and with the demons defeated, our heroes were free to continue their journey to the west. So our heroes are trekking.
Guys, I don't want to jinx it, but I think we're almost there.
Westward when their way is barred by... Let me just spin this wheel real quick. A huge river, easily 800 miles wide.
Huh? Hey? 800 miles? That's like that big. That's big. That's like an ocean.
Pretty sure that technically qualifies as an inland sea, but long story short, they're stuck. Surprise, surprise. They spot a town nearby and head over for help and quest objectives and end up having dinner with these two rich old brothers who are very nice and don't even get butthurt when Pigsy single-handedly threatens to eat them out of house and home. But
oh, Pigsy, god damn it.
While the town may seem idyllic, we know what to expect from these things by now, and the truth eventually comes out. This region is ruled by the Great King of Miraculous Power, a being who controls the weather and grants the town rain, but at a hefty price. Every year, the Great King requires a sacrifice of two young children, one boy and one girl from one of the families in town.
No.
This year, it's the brothers' turn. And wouldn't you know it, despite their advanced age, they each manage to have one kid, and these delightful youngsters are their pride and joy and also the only heirs they have. What a tragedy this is. After first suggesting
doesn't this town have any spare children?
that the men just use their immense wealth to buy two replacement children, Monkey remembers he's a good
Monkey! Or we can do plan B.
Person now and volunteers to help out by taking the boy's place. He also volunteers Pigsy to replace
my associate I will be sacrificed instead. Wait, what?
The girl. And after a lot of complaining, Monkey and Pigsy disguise themselves as the children and the townspeople carry them to the temple and run off. With a dramatic flourish,
a fine set of sacrifices.
The Great King appears, and unsurprisingly, he's a big scary demon. But for all his scariness...
No cape? Are you taking this seriously?
He's completely unprepared for how nonchalant Monkey is about this whole being sacrificed thing, and he gets so...
I don't expect everyone to storm heaven, but at least dress like you want to. At least one of you understand what's happening.
Freaked out, he goes after Pigsy instead. Pigsy freaks out and changes back, walloping the Great King with his rake and knocking a couple fish scales off him, which makes the Great King freak out and run away. Pigsy and Monkey chase him, and when the demon figures out who he's really dealing with, he freaks out even harder and vanishes into the river. Pigsy and Monkey...
I love how they always, it's like, once they figure out it's Sun Wukong, they're like, no, fuck that. Fish scales in an underwater hideout. And he looks kind of like Sandy. Definitely a river dragon.
Figure that between the scales and the river thing, he's probably a river demon, and if they defeat him, they might be able to find a way across. But that's a problem.
Man, I'm hungry. Are you hungry? 8 years we've known each other. They've been on this journey to the west for 8 years.
For after the victory party. With the kids saved and nobody dead, our heroes return to a rousing celebration of their badassery. But not everyone is celebrating.
So, bad news.
As off in the river.
I love kids.
The demon explains to his demon buddies why he didn't bring any leftovers and recounts his daring escape. But this year might...
That monk has to be up there somewhere, but that monkey is no joke.
Not be a total bust. He recognized Pigsy and Monkey as disciples of Tripitaka, who he's heard is so magically delicious and nutritious that eating him would make them all immortal. But Monkey is so scary, and Pigsy too, I guess, that he's not sure he'll be able to get to Tripitaka at all. But one of the demons has an idea on that front,
they have a plan.
And with her help, the Great King begins hatching a plan. The next day, the gang wakes up to find the town blanketed in a beautiful layer of extremely unseasonal snow. This is very picturesque, but actually not good, because Tripitaka was hoping to borrow a boat to cross the river, and with the weather like this, a boat isn't going to do him any good. Plus, this journey is really starting to drag on. It's already been 7 or 8 years since Tripitaka first left for the west, and all this...
Oh my god. Yeah, she's been making the series for 5. Ooh.
This waiting is really getting to him. The old dudes try to cheer him up by serving him tea in their beautiful snowy garden, and Monkey calls Pigsy an absolute cretin for not recognizing the beautiful tranquility of a fresh snowfall. I guess you could call him an uncultured swine.
Uncultured get it? 'Cause he's a pig.
But as they spend a beautiful afternoon drinking in the wonders of nature and also a bunch of tea, someone passing by...
Say, fellow traveler, do you hear the river is frozen and safe to traverse? I did. How convenient for any westward journeys.
By outside loudly mentions that the cold snap has frozen the river solid, and that people are starting to actually walk across it to start their seasonal trade with the Western Kingdom of Women, an empire of only women that lives on the other side. Well, if the river's
Would you say the ice could support, for instance, 4 people and a horse? Wait, what horse? I mean, of course.
actually frozen all the way through, then they can just walk across, no need for a boat or a demon fight. So after first
Hold your staff like this so it'll catch you if you fall through the ice. How about I just jump across and meet you guys on the other side?
weatherproofing the horse
Monkey
and a
thinking
few
big
lessons from
brain.
Pigsy in safe ice traversal, our heroes set out along the
Oh, I love the details of, like, covering the horse's hooves, even though the horse is a fucking dragon.
frozen river to continue their journey westward. Or at least that's the
Crap.
plan. The demon smashes through the ice, and everyone but Monkey falls into the water. Pigsy and Sandy manage to retrieve the horse and their luggage, but Tripitaka's
The horse that is also a dragon that could fly on his own. What is his point? What is...
nowhere to be found, and with no better ideas, the gang trudges back to town to regroup and think of a plan. Monkey is certain that
Relax. This happens all the time.
Tripitaka is still alive, so he tells the old men to take care of their horse and dry out their things while he, Sandy, and Pigsy figure out how to get Tripitaka back. Unfortunately, Monkey is still no good underwater, so Pigsy carries him as they swim down to investigate. They find a massive underwater palace,
these
and Monkey turns
colors.
into a shrimp and sneaks in, finding Tripitaka alive
At this point, I'm never taking a bath again. Maybe then demons won't think I'm delicious.
and well, but stuck in a box, very unhappy to be stuck in a box, and lamenting his frankly terrible luck with rivers. Monkey scoots back out and suggests Sandy and Pigsy try to
Okay, you guys lure him out, and I'll clobber him.
provoke the demon and lure him out of the water so Monkey can finish him off. You know, that strategy they've tried twice that has literally never worked. But you never know, maybe the third time's the charm. So Monkey pops back to the
Yeah.
surface while Sandy and Pigsy see about luring the demon out to play. But this time, the demon is actually prepared for a fight and brings out a very impressive looking mace. He and Pigsy
A
brag.
mace. Mine is stronger than dragon claws. Well, mine comes from the celestial jade pool. Well, mine can flip the oceans. Well, mine is harder than steel. Well, mine
about their
can...
respective weapons for a while until Sandy gets bored and attacks. They have a pretty sweet fight, and after a few rounds, Pigsy fakes defeat and runs for the surface. And when the demon follows, Monkey ambushes him, just as planned.
Wonk.
But the demon freaks out and does what he does best, aka run away, and he's not about to take that bait a second time,
don't
so
think
they
he's
can't
going
lure him
back
out
up.
for another go. So, officially running out of ideas, Monkey decides to pay Kuan Yin a visit to see if she has any insights. But when he arrives at the southern
Oh, hey, great sage. Now's not really a good time. Yeah, demons are inconsiderate like that.
sea, Kuan Yin's entourage nervously tells him that this maybe isn't a good time, since she hasn't left her room all day and specifically left orders not to be disturbed, especially by Monkey. Showing commendable restraint, Monkey waits a whole several minutes before bolting for Kuan Yin's private bamboo grove.
Oh.
That's where he finds Kuan Yin, still in her pajamas, with zero makeup, zero hairstyling, glumly weaving a basket out of bamboo. Ugh. That's a mood. Monkey has no idea what's going on, but he knows a bad day when he sees one, so he immediately backpedals and humbly begs Kuan Yin for help in rescuing Tripitaka. Kuan Yin tells him to wait outside, and this time Monkey actually listens. Nobody in her
Good job,
entourage
Monkey.
is
Character
entirely sure
development.
what's going on with her, but they can all tell that she seems really down and won't talk to anyone. Soon enough, Kuan Yin emerges with a completed basket, tells Monkey to follow her, and blasts off without even getting dressed. They arrive at the river, and Monkey tries to explain what's happening to the others, except since he doesn't actually know what's happening, he doesn't have much luck. Kuan Yin floats out over the river, drops her basket in the water, recites a spell, and then retrieves the basket, which now contains exactly one very confused goldfish. Then she tells Monkey to go save
Okay, we're good. That's it. I'm going back to bed.
Tripitaka. But what about the demon? Everyone say hello. So
Hi,
yeah, it turns
demon.
out the demon was actually Kuan Yin's beloved pet goldfish, which got powered up by listening to her lectures and decided to turn into a demon and start eating kids. She was very
Huh?
upset when she realized he was missing and dove straight into finding a way to get him back, which is why she was so unput together today. Because of a goldfish. Because he got beat up by a goldfish. With the boss demon out of the way, they easily rescue Tripitaka, and meanwhile, the townsfolk are so awed by Kuan, I woke
God.
up like this yin, that they all troop out to worship her and make a bunch of art about it. With Tripitaka unkidnapped and everything basically
Kind of surprised this is still here.
resolved, they still have to figure out a way to cross the river, which is when a huge white turtle
You have saved my river. Ah.
shows up. Apparently, he's the guy who actually owns this river, and with the goldfish gone, he's back in charge. As thanks for restoring his position, he carries the gang across the water himself, asking only that they give him some tips from the Buddha to help him finally shed his turtle shell and gain a human form. So with that fishy business sorted out, our heroes can continue on their journey to the west. And they do for a while. But the weather gets colder and the going gets harder, and eventually they run into a, let me spin this wheel here, huge mountain barring their way. It's not totally impassable, but it's very narrow and treacherous and probably full of scary wild animals, so everyone's a bit on edge. As they make their way through the mountain, they eventually spot some signs of life. A mansion and a cluster of houses nestled in one of the valleys. Tripitaka suggests they stop there to get some food and rest up. But unfortunately, but perhaps unsurprisingly, Monkey can see ominous dark clouds around the town and figures it's not worth the inevitable demon attack. Careful, he's learning. He convinces Tripitaka to stay put and let him go off and get them some food.
Stay here and don't go near the demon castle. He's totally gonna go near the demon castle.
Then he stops, comes back, draws a circle around.
Now when I say don't go near the demon Monkey, I worry you here wait till Monkey's gone and then go anyway. Calm down.
Tripitaka with his staff and tells him not to step outside it. The circle will act as a ward and keep him safe from everything in the area as long as he doesn't leave it. Tripitaka promises not to, and Monkey
don't make me hunt you down!
Blasts off to find some food. But while Monkey's pursuit of munchies inevitably gets him into his normal level of shenaniganery, Pigsy, who else, gets cold and bored and starts trying to convince Tripitaka to leave. After all, how can a
He must think we're idiots for buying this. Let's just go ask the nice rich people for help.
Circle drawn on the ground protect them from anything? That's just silly. Plus, Monkey's really fast, so it shouldn't be a problem for him to catch up to them, and moving around will help them keep warm. Tripitaka's convinced, and they leave the circle and make a beeline for the spooky, ominous mansion. Pigsy heads inside to look around and finds the whole space deserted except for a very large skeleton in an upper room and 3 very shiny, warm vests. Pigsy grabs the vests and reports back, and Tripitaka is mortified that he desecrated a grave, but Pigsy reasons that
I am very disappointed in both of you. You're probably just cranky because you're cold.
Dead guy's not about to complain, and he and Sandy put him on, which turns out to be a bad idea, as the vests are enchanted and immediately tie them up. What? A trap? I can't believe it. So, unsurprisingly, this region is ruled by a demon, specifically the old and powerful single-horned rhinoceros king. And this whole place is a trap he set up. He has his minions
Yes, trespassing and grave robbing. Not very virtuous, are you? In our defense, my disciple is an idiot.
The gang over to his cave and demands an explanation from Tripitaka, who apologizes for his disciple's rudeness and asks that they please be allowed to continue along their journey. But the demon's not exactly
well, I would love to let you go if I hadn't recognized you, Golden Cicada.
In the negotiating mood, since he knows if he eats Tripitaka, he'll regain his youth. But Pigsy brags that
restoring my youth will make everything so much easier. It won't save you from Sun Wukong.
Tripitaka's absent disciple is none other than the Monkey King, which does make the demon hesitate, so he puts them in cold.
Don't kill them yet. We'll need the leverage.
Storage while he figures out what to do about Monkey. Speaking of whom, Monkey finds the circle empty, the suspicious demony town gone, and the gang nowhere to be found. What a surprise. He follows the horse hoof prints for several miles without finding anybody, and is starting to get seriously disheartened when a couple of travelers
If you're looking for the travelers, you're too late.
Tell him that they saw his companions getting kidnapped by a very powerful local demon. Monkey's about to run off to
can you also free our mountain? We'll hold your rice for you.
Find him when the travelers reveal that they're actually the local mountain gods and ask him to leave the bowl of rice with them for safekeeping. Monkey is pretty pissed they disguised themselves, but they point out that he is pretty dangerous to deal with on a bad day, which he acknowledges is fair. He's becoming self-aware. So Monkey starts
Monkey King's becoming self-aware. Oh no.
Searching for the inevitable demon cave, and eventually spots a set of double doors in the mountainside guarded by a bunch of imps. He lands, knocks on the door, and orders
Pigsy, if you can hear me, I know this is your fault.
The demon to come out and
why does Tripitaka keep listening to Pigsy? Like, why, Tripitaka?
face him. Now the demon is actually
You're not letting him in here, alright? Wouldn't dream of it. We'll need much more room.
Stoked about this, because he's been craving a worthy opponent ever since he first descended to Earth. His imps bring him his lance, and he goes to confront Monkey.
It's an honor, great sage. I'll be very impressed if you still feel that way in 5 minutes.
Monkey. They banter for a bit. The demon accuses Tripitaka of stealing from him, Monkey insists that Tripitaka is way too much of a weenie to do something like that, and they fight. It's an epic battle, and they're just about evenly matched, and the demon compliments Monkey's strength from his infamous rampage through heaven. But clearly the demon is not actually that interested in fighting fair, since he sends his army of imps to attack Monkey, who responds by tossing his staff in the air and magically multiplying it to bombard them all at once. But it turns out this is what the demon was waiting for. He pulls out a white jade ring and throws it into the air. The copies all shoot back into one staff, which then gets sucked into the ring and disappears. Now completely disarmed, Monkey's at a serious disadvantage and has no choice but to run. The demon returns to his cave in triumph,
Monkey
and
had
Monkey,
to run?
in a bit of a daze, tries to figure out what to do next. But Monkey snaps out of the funk when he remembers the demon mentioned witnessing his rampage through heaven, meaning he was
I couldn't even steal peaches on the clock without the Jade Emperor ordering my execution. How do these guys keep getting away with this?
There. So he must have originally been a celestial spirit, since it's always good to know your
Hey, how's my favorite, most august emperor doing?
enemy. Monkey jets up to heaven to politely ask if anyone up there can help him figure out who the demon is. He is a lot nicer when he doesn't
Are you
have his
feeling
staff.
okay? No.
The Jade Emperor sets up an internal investigation, but can't find anyone missing, so he offers
Well, we can't find anyone unaccounted for, but we can send some people to beat him up.
to send some gods to help Monkey fight the demon. Monkey's like, oh man, I mean, sick offer, but like, I kind of kicked all your asses 500 years ago. I don't know if you forgot, but like, so if I couldn't do anything, I don't really know if any of you could. Oh, dude! Do you still have that really sassy 12-year-old? So Monkey grabs eternal 12-year-old Prince Nada and his long-suffering father, Devaraja Lee, plus an army of more generic divine soldiers and a couple of thunder squires to throw lightning at the problem. So Nada insists on going
Okay, let's be careful here. Let me at him!
first, and he and the demon fight for a while before Nada switches into his 3-headed, 6-armed
Oh.
war form and starts really kicking ass. However, when he tosses his weapons into the air to multiply them, the demon pulls out the ring again and all the weapons vanish. Nada runs for his life, and the Thunder
Okay, who's
Squires
next?
quietly thank their better judgment that they didn't try throwing their lightning too. They try and think of a weapon the ring couldn't suck up, and they think that maybe fire could work, so Monkey zips back up to heaven to conscript the help of the Star of Fiery Virtue, the god in charge of Mars, who turns out to be a mild-mannered bureaucrat
Goodness, I'll clear my schedule.
who's significantly less powerful than the other warriors in play, but he's happy to help out if he can. This time, Devaraja
This is so exciting. Yeah, just stay behind me.
Lee provokes the demon, and when he comes out to fight, the Star of Fiery Virtue unleashes an onslaught of flaming weapons and fire spirits, which are all sucked into the ring
Oh.
and disappear. Dang it, guess that's what we get for relying on Steve from Heaven accounting. But Monkey's not out of ideas just
Well, I suppose it couldn't hurt.
yet. This time he goes to the Dark Vastness Palace and conscripts the Star of Watery Virtue. Wielding a small white jade
Steve,
chalice containing half the waters of the Yellow River, the Star of Watery Virtue joins the fight. But when he unleashes the water into the cave, the demon uses the ring to reverse the water, sending the deluge down the mountain instead. Unfortunately, the Star of Watery Virtue can't put the water back, so they have to wait for it to drain away. And Monkey gets so dang frustrated, he storms up to the cave and demands the demon fight him hand to hand. The demon actually agrees, and they have a spectacular martial arts duel, which eventually escalates into a full-on brawl when the other gods and demons join in. Monkey also duplicates himself a bunch, but the demon uses the ring to vanish the copies, and the sides retreat to reevaluate their next moves. The gods compliment
His only real edge is that jade ring. We should aim to take it. Thank you.
Monkey on his badassness in cool form, and Devaraja Lee says he's pretty sure Monkey is the better fighter. Without the jade ring, the demon can't win, so they should probably find a way to steal it. One of the Thunder Squires
Well, gosh, if only we knew someone who once robbed heaven itself.
points out that Monkey is probably the best qualified person in the universe to steal something like that, considering how much stuff he stole from heaven back in the day. Guys, you're gonna make him blush.
Aw,
So Monkey
you
turns into a
remembered.
fly and sneaks into the cave, past the demons, who are all having a big party, and finds a hall with everything the ring vanished in it. He can't find the ring itself, but that doesn't matter so much because he finds his staff, and is so stoked to have it back, he immediately smashes his way out of the cave
Thanks for polishing it for me.
in celebration. The demon and his army obviously
You are becoming very annoying. Aw, just now?
chase him, and they battle for about 3 hours. But when the sun goes down, the
3
demon calls
hours?
for timeout, Monkey says no timeouts, and the demon bolts back into the cave.
Lightweight.
Everyone showers Monkey with compliments and praise, and he figures that now that the demon's all tuckered out, he can just sneak in and look for the ring on his own time. So Monkey turns into a cricket and sneaks into the cave, but when he spots the demon getting ready for bed, he notices a problem. The demon is wearing the jade ring on his arm. Monkey tries and fails to dislodge it, and eventually decides to do the next best thing. He goes back to the hall with all the weapons, reduplicates himself, steals all the weapons, frees all the fire spirits, and smashes his way out of the now burning cave, riding a fire dragon like the first-class badass he is. The demon is very unhappy that his cave is now super on fire, while the divine army is very happy to have all their weapons back. But in spite of how super cool that play of the game was, the demon still has the ring, and it doesn't take very long for him to use it to steal all their weapons back.
Oh.
Boo. So the heavenly
Boo.
host dissolves into arguing, blame placing, and infighting, and Monkey finds himself living out his worst nightmare of being the voice of reason. So
Oh,
he
no.
decides that when all else fails, he should probably check in with the Buddha and see if he has any ideas. So Monkey flies off to the Thunderclap Monastery and drops in on the man himself. Oh boy, nobody
I feel very frustrated for some reason. Starting now!
tell Tripitaka it's that easy. Buddha is kind of surprised to see him there, all alone without Tripitaka and the others, and Monkey fills him in on the situation. Now Buddha figures out who the demon is pretty much immediately, but refuses to tell Monkey
Oh, no, you don't. I know you'll start smack talking the minute you get back. Rude. but true.
Because he knows Monkey doesn't know how to shut up and would instantly brag about how he learned the demon's true identity, and he just really doesn't want to deal with that right now. So instead, he has his 18 Arhats gather 18 grains of cinnabar sand to magically paralyze the demon. Monkey jokes around with the Arhats, who seem like pretty cool dudes, and they fly back to the mountain. Monkey goes to lure the demon out, but then the demon taunts him about how he's super gonna kill his friends, so Monkey drops the goofs and attacks him for real. The Arhats make their move and dump the sand on the demon, and it grows into a huge pile that threatens to bury him completely, until he uses the ring to make it disappear. Man, this guy sucks. Get it? Look, if I thought of it earlier, I would have said it earlier. But two of the Arhats
Now that didn't work, you should go talk to Lao Tzu.
tell Monkey that Buddha secretly told them that if the sand didn't work, Monkey should go and ask Lao Tzu for help. Monkey's cranky they couldn't just tell him that in the first place, but you know how Buddha does, so he jets off to go bother Lao Tzu. But as he's filling him in on the situation, he noticed something's missing from Lao Tzu's lab. His green buffalo is conspicuously absent. Apparently, he had one of those. And apparently, the lad guarding it thought eating a random elixir pill he found on the ground was a super good idea, and it knocked him out for a week straight, during which time the green buffalo escaped and headed to Earth to fulfill his dreams of fighting worthy opponents and eating monks. Searching the lab, Lao Tzu realizes his diamond snare is also missing, the thing he used to finally capture Monkey during his rampage through heaven. Apparently, that's the true form of the jade ring the demon's been using to steal everyone's stuff. Lao Tzu grabs his fan and storms off for a little disciplinary training. When Monkey and Lao Tzu arrive on the scene, the demon freaks out and hucks the ring, which doesn't work out so hot when Lao Tzu catches it with one hand. Then he swings the fan, and the demon immediately reverts to his true form, no problem. Lao Tzu leads the formerly demon
And Buddha says hi. How?
now just your garden variety green buffalo back to his lab. Monkey retrieves the weapons and rescues the others, no problem. And with that eventful trip down memory lane all sorted out, they are finally back on track to continue their journey to the west. Will Tripitaka's luck with mountains and rivers finally improve? Will Pigsy learn to stop being the inciting incident in every episode? And what was that thing about an empire of only women? Find out next time on Journey to the West.
Oh, alright, that was Legend Summarized, The Journey to the West, Part 8. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.